What if your homeschool had wheels and your field trips were America's national parks? We're a homeschooling family of 5 traveling the country in this 45-foot bus. And this is part 1 of our full tour, starting with the exterior. Let's go take a look. All right. So we've got a lot to cover because there is a lot of features on this coach. So let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, this is the exterior door. It has a keyless entry. It also has a key fob. We never use it. We utilize this all the time. It's wonderful. So keyless entry. Up above the door is the door awning, which is fantastic when the sun's beating down on this side. We can put out the door awning. The tires on this thing are basically semi-truck tires, so they get the job done on the road, even in the pouring rain, which is wonderful. The coach has 2 fuel inlets. So there's one on both sides, which is really nice when you get yourself into a place and realize you're on the wrong side, like we did. I forget where we were at, but that did happen. So it's nice to be able to fill up on both sides. You can fill the tank faster. We rarely use this side because we typically go through truck lanes and have the high flow, so it works great. All right, that's that. So this side, the passenger side, has a full wall slide out, and this thing is a beast. It's absolutely amazing. So it does have a slide out topper, which is fantastic. When you go to put the full slide in, you don't get rain inside your coach, which is very nice. We did have to replace that because it did get a hole, so we realized how nice it actually was. And also we have a patio awning. So this is a, what do they call it? A dual pivoting. So it comes down and then it's not like a straight out, which is super nice for shade. You want to sit outside in the shade. It's very, very nice. It also has a high wind sensor. So if the wind gets too high, and it starts to wobble too much, it will automatically put the awning in, which is, yeah, a really great feature to have. And if you've ever been in a campground and you've seen somebody's awning in high wind flop on top of their camper, rig, whatever they have, you don't want to be in that place. So that sensor is amazing, but not bulletproof, but it is very nice. Okay, so we're just going to work our way down. We'll try to hit everything. I think those are the majors up top. So our first bay is, which you'll hear me talk about this and call this the basement on our rig. We have a Dometic freezer refrigerator. It is dual zone, so you can have one side a refrigerator, one side a freezer, and it's really nice because it does pull out. So you can pull that out, easily get access to what you need. It comes out further than that. I'll just bring it out all the way. So even when the full slide out is out, you can still get in there and get what you want. Yeah, a myriad of ways you can use this.
And there's a little bit of storage on top that we use for that knee pad.
Yes, which is really nice if you've got to get under the coach or just get down into the bays to have a knee pad like this. So that's a really nice accessory.
Yep, we keep some extra. We don't really use those. Well,
those are the pop-up. Yeah, so those are for emergencies. That could be a whole separate video of things that you should have in case of emergencies, but those are pop-up cones. So if you're off to the side of the road, you get a flat tire, whatever, you have those. Plus I have flares that I use as well. We also store the blocks, leveling blocks and things like that under there as well. So really nice. Like, this coach is not lacking for storage. I will just tell you that. We're a family of 5, travel all over the country for 12, 14 week periods at a time, and we have plenty of space.
Lots of space.
We also carry a lot of extras. I'll just be sure.
Lots of space for the just in case.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so let's put that back in there. You definitely want to make sure it's secure. So we're doing that. Okay, so this next one, Deborah uses this really primarily kind of as a basement pantry. We love the Husky containers. They're fantastic. We have containers for all kinds of things, dry goods, clothing, like winter clothing.
Paper products, napkins, extra paper towels. And then we have like a whole cold storage for when things do get cold and we need all of our winter coats and hats and mittens.
Gloves and spikes for our shoes if we're going to go out and hike in an icy place. So all of that goes under here. We also put like grill accessories and things like that down here as well, in a nice little crate, which is awesome. So really great storage on that bay. Then we have the TV bay. It's so much fun to go outside and watch college football games when that's going on. So we have a external TV. And this rig has a central communication system. So all of the TVs, all of the main TVs go into one system and can all run off the same Apple TV. So we can have this TV on, the main inside TV, the TV over the driver passenger area, as well as our bedroom TV onto the same thing. So if a football game's on, wherever we go, it's the exact same game, which is a lot of fun. So, and these are smart TVs. So if we want them to be separate, then we can just change the input to the TV itself and then watch YouTube or whatever we want to on that. So really nice, comes with the sound bar here as well. So really nice feature. And I will say, I wouldn't say we use this a ton, but it is really nice to have when the weather's super nice and you can be outside. So light a fire outside, sit around, grill out, watch a football game, start a campfire. It's really, really, really nice. So here's kind of one of the main bays. And honestly, it was a big selling point when we bought the coach. So this is the main bay and it has a slide in it and it's a massive slide. So you can actually pull out. So instead of having to like get down under there, you can actually pull out the slide. We take a lot of different things with us. I will just say this about this coach in general, and we'll talk more about this in the review, but we really want for nothing when we're on the road. I mean, we really have practically everything except maybe space and doors. The girls would say we want bedroom doors, which I get it. We have a bedroom door on the coach. So anyway, so we carry adjustable weight dumbbells. We'll show you, we have a bench that we take with us as well. This is our Weber grill. I will say this is one of our top 10 accessories for sure. Love this grill. We actually got rid of our other grill at home and we just put this on our back porch while we're home and then put it back in here. It's a rock solid grill. Really, really good. Cleaning supplies, a blower. We have I forget what it's called, what is it? Little Giant ladder, which is amazing. I think this is our third or fourth different RV ladder that we have purchased. The other ones, I just didn't feel safe going 13 feet off the ground. But this thing, I have zero fear. It's amazing. So I think we picked it up at Costco.
And I will also say under here, there's like, what are those, bars?
Yeah, it's called raised rails.
Okay. So we like the workout mat and there's the big light. There's just extra things that we're able to store up in those rails. Out of the way. Yeah, so we take a light with us that you can put on a tripod. We try to never get into a campground when it's dark. And I would just recommend get there early for many different reasons. But we did have an instance where we had a mechanical issue, got into a campground late at night, and it was so nice to have that light that we could throw up to actually be able to back the coach into this really tight, it was an awesome site. It was a great site in the day. It was Hot Spring National Park. Gulf of Gorge. Yes, Gulf of Gorge campground. Amazing campground, absolutely beautiful. I wish I could remember the guy's name that helped us jump our battery. What? Gary. Gary, yes, thank you, Gary. If you watch this video, thank you, Gary. But anyway, that light was super helpful. So we put a lot of that down here. There's also about 3 inches underneath the slide. So I store things like our big Starlink satellite. We put different weight exercise things underneath there. So really great storage when it comes to that. We also take 2 rugs with us. A big rug that kind of goes in this main patio area. You can kind of see them rolled up. And then we've got straps on those. All kinds of things that we put in here. If we told you about everything we had under there, this would be like a 5-hour video. So we won't go into all that. We're just saying there's lots of storage. Lots of storage. All right. So this bay is primarily the AquaHot bay. So the AquaHot system, we have an AquaHot 400D. It's an amazing heating system. So this is what heats our water, as well as it actually is the system that's used when we're on AquaHot heat to heat the coach. So our coach actually has 4 different ways that you can heat the coach. We'll talk more about that when we go inside, but this is an amazing system. So this coach has no propane. So it is a 100% electric coach. And then all of the systems like the generator, the AquaHot system, as well as the engine all runs off diesel, which is amazing because I'm not having to go around and try to find propane so we can have heat in the coach. We fill up at a truck stop and we're good to go in all those areas. So really, really nice. We also have storage over here. It does have, you'll see down here, a Dirt Devil, and you're like, what in the world is that?
It does have a central vac system. To be perfectly honest, we don't use it. We have never used it. We like the Dyson stick vacs. They're really, really good. So we don't use that, but it does have it. And then I also store under there is actually a little Howell fire pit, which was just a new addition to our last trip, but we used it more than we used anything, and it's super convenient. So really, really nice for that. And then I also carry extra oil and extra coolant. So those are two things. Every morning on a travel day, I go out and I check what's the engine oil look like, as well as what does our coolant levels look like, because you don't want your engine overheating or blowing up on you. So, and this thing has been rock solid. Praise the Lord, it's been rock solid. So we carry a little extra of that, so if something does happen, we can always top off if we need to. And then we do carry, there's some insect sprays back there as well. If you're going into Florida, you definitely need your insect sprays, cutter, mosquitoes, all the things.
It cuts them all.
You definitely want that. When we were in Florida, yeah, actually at the beginning of this year, the campground we were staying at, I guess, had rat issues. So the lady beside us told us about this Tomcat spray that you can spray. And you do not want rodents in your coach. They can eat through electrical. They can eat through a lot of different things you don't want them touching. So we added that to the arsenal of things we have to protect the coach, as well as my daughters from screaming if they ever see anything like that. So anyway, that's good. All right, so that's that bay. Then we have what I would call the tank bay. So on the bottom is our 100-gallon water tank. So when we're on the road, if we're dry camping, we can store 100 gallons of water. Up above it, you really can't see it very well, but we have a 60-gallon gray tank, and that would be for things like showers, your sinks, things like that. And then we have a 40-gallon black tank. Pretty self-explanatory. That's your sewer tank. So really nice, but this is where all the tanks are, where all the tank sensors are. Yeah, and we have not had really a single issue. Tank management is really important. A lot of people, if they experience odors and things like that in their coach, many times they think it's the black tank, but it's actually the gray tank. We'll do a separate RV life video on that. Deborah's got that down to a science on how to manage that, so we'll come back to that. But yeah, you can see massive, massive full slide. We do have the bunk, so you can kind of see on the outside, these are the bunk windows. The girls have literally woke up, looked out the window to Devil's Tower and a lot of other places. Just been, yeah, amazing. All right, so, okay, we got to talk about the wheels. Okay. I remember the first video that we watched on any coach, you know, even closely to this, and they called it an innie and an outie, which I was like, that's really weird. It's like belly buttons. So the front tires are your steer axle. These tires right here, the innie, these are your double, so dually drive axles. And then this guy back here is why there's a T in XLT. That stands for tag and a tag axle. And that tag axle has gotten us out of some pretty tight situations. Basically, if you're under, I believe it's 30 miles an hour and you really cut the steering wheel, those tires will turn to help you make a sharper turn. And when we say sharper turn, it's almost like spinning on a top. Yeah. How crazy it is. It's fantastic.
And you don't think that a coach this size would be able to do those things.
Right. And you're in some pretty tight campgrounds. I mean, the reality is when you're 45 feet, so this is a 40, actually I think it's technically a 44 feet, 11-inch coach. We've talked to many people. They'll get like the 40-foot coach. They don't have to have the tag axle. I've never driven one of those, so I can't really speak to it. But what I can speak to is this thing has gotten me out of some pretty tight situations. And if I was going to go 40, I would just go 45 and get the tag axle if price was no consideration. So it is really good. And price was a consideration for us. God miraculously provided this coach for us. So anyway, tag axle is very nice. Next door here is the DEF. So this is a diesel engine. It's a Cummins 450 XCR, so it does require DEF. I believe this is a 15, 16-gallon DEF tank. And then a lot of the kind of engine components back here. This is the chassis battery. So there's two battery systems on this coach. So this is the chassis batteries specifically for the engine. And then there's house batteries, and the house batteries are what we use when we're on the road. And it would fuel things like the lights, anything that's not major electronics, which is super nice. So anyway, that's where the chassis battery bay is. So I'm not going to go back here because we got some tight quarters, but this is the engine bay. You can just open that up. Super easy to get to. This is our Blue Ox flat tow system. There's a lot of really great flat tows. What is a flat tow system? It's basically so we can tow our Jeep and we don't have to have a trailer or a dolly or anything like that. So there's two parts to it. There's this part on the coach. There's a part that gets connected on the front of the Jeep that's permanent on the Jeep, and it makes it super easy for us to connect. Dubber does her magic to put it into flat tow mode. It doesn't just mean put it in neutral. You have to have, what is it called?
You have to change the transmission.
Yes. So, and she does that part. So I wouldn't even be able to begin to tell you how to do that. But it's amazing. It does really well. We connect the power. So the lights run off of that. We connect air because we use an Air Force One braking system on the Jeep. So when I apply the brakes in the coach, it also applies brakes in the Jeep. And then there's an emergency pull. So if somehow we were to get disconnected and that pulled, it would automatically put the brakes on the Jeep and stop it. So Lord willing, no one got hurt. All right, so now we're coming around to the driver's side. We have two slide outs. So we have the master bedroom slide out, and then we have the kitchen slide out on this side. We have had zero issues with our slides. I've heard quite a few horror stories, but I think with the way that Forest River put these together, yeah, we've just had zero issues with them, which is really nice. All right, so we're not going to go into all the details. I mean, there's so many things. Like we could talk about the roof and what's all on the roof, and we could talk about the leveling system. But I'll just point out, we do have an auto leveling system. It's very, very nice. Works really well. We've kind of come up with our own method of using it that works really well to keep the coach as low as possible. A lot of coaches, when they level, they'll raise you way high. And then that makes just for a little bit of wobble, especially when you have 5 basically adult people in the coach. So we've kind of come up with our own system to get it level, but keep it as low as possible. And it is made for, just a much nicer experience. So this is the water bay, also where the sewer all comes together. So super nice. Don't currently have a filter in it. We're kind of between trips, but I will be reloading. It will have a house filter as well as we use a softener and another inline filter outside. Plus it has another filter inside in the refrigerator. But the really nice thing about this is a lot of rigs have inline water. So like it goes from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. So if something breaks down, it kills it everywhere. And for us, everything connects in here individually. So you can literally come in here and see, okay, this is the hot water for the shower. This is the cold water for the rear bath shower. So like if we have issues, we can come out here and troubleshoot just what those issues are for those things. It also has a hose reel, which is really nice. When I see some people out there trying to crank up their hose, I'm so thankful I push a button and it just goes right up. So fantastic. This is the lever for the gray tank to clear it out or dump it out in the black tank. We also have a shower down here, which is really sweet. Rarely ever use it, but we do have that there. And then these are like your bottom drains, so you can open that up if you need to change out the filter or anything like that. This is where you can switch between tanks. So I can go from, I'm gonna fill the tank. So when we're connected to seawater, it can fill the tank up. This is, we're on tank water right now. So if we were to go in and turn on a sink, it's pulling from our tank. When we're actually connected at a campground, we switch to city water. And then instead of pulling from the tank, it actually comes from the spigot there at the campground. So you can also fill the tank here. And then we also have a black flush. So we try to do this at least once a week when we're on the road. When we go to dump the tank, we also fill it up and we'll flush it out. You want to make sure you manage your tanks. I'll just tell you, we've never had this, praise the Lord, because I watched enough people who did on YouTube. And I never wanted to have the experiences that they had. So we want to make sure that we treat it every time and then that we flush it out just to keep it as clean as possible. So I think I covered everything down there. So it's really nice to have a light when you go outside at night and you're dumping tanks and doing different things. And you will find yourself, especially in the fall when it starts to get dark early, having like that is really nice. So this coach has the Precision Plex system. We'll show you more about that when we go inside, but you can kind of see where we're at. So freshwater, we have 3/4 tank. Gray is empty, and the black tank is 3/4 full. And then you can go up and do a lot of different things here. I can look at tank levels. That's where we just were. I can look at battery voltage. I can look at generator status, as well as just general switch controls. So really nice to be able to control that
from here instead of going back inside and like checking.
Yeah, so I can turn the water pump off and on out here and do a lot of those things. You would be amazed at how many people are trying to yell through their rig to the person inside to have them do things and to be able to control all that out here. As well as I have an app on my phone that actually controls the majority of the Precision Plex system. So I can be outside turning off and on lights, even putting in the slides, unleveling the coach, doing all of that right from my phone, which is really cool. All right, this next bay. So we have a couple things here. Number one, the main thing, we have 50 amp power cord on this coach. You can see that's a little thicker than your average extension cord. We also have the transfer switch, so it automatically transfers between AC and DC power. So when we're DC, we're running off battery power. AC is when we're plugged into a pedestal that automatically converts over and does all that for us. We don't have to turn anything off, it just does it. I also use this space to carry an extra surge protector. So this is not your average computer surge protector. So we have one over there, the Watchdog, but then I carry an extra one. We had a situation where our surge protector actually went bad. And I just don't like being in that place where I have to directly connect. So who knows, some campgrounds, their power is a little dicey. And you do not want to fry the electronics in your coach. So I kind of follow that idea. If you have two, you have one. If you have one, you have none. Especially with critical things. Not everything, but this for sure.
That helps us not end a trip if something would go wrong with that. It's like, nope, we'll just swap out.
Yes, we'll just swap it out. It's not even stress. It's just like, okay, we're good. All right, so I keep all of my water supplies down here, inline water filter, those sorts of things. Our sewer lines are back there. And then just kind of the bow connector that goes into the actual inlet at the campsite. Then we also have back there is our water softener. I have 3 daughters and a wife who require soft water. The other benefit, what's that?
So high maintenance.
Oh no, you guys are awesome. It is a privilege to get to serve you soft water.
It also helps the coach.
It does. So that was the point I was going to make is soft water actually extends the life of your appliances in your coach. So don't think it's just hoity-toity people that, need soft water for soft hair. It has multiple benefits. So I'm glad I get to do that for you.
Thank you.
All right. So this is just the back side of the slide out. So you're seeing the back side of that. And yes, we'll just go ahead and, spill the beans here. Let's pull this out.
All right.
So to answer your question, we love doing Friday night pizza nights. We do this at home. We do pizza. We watch a movie as a family. It's like family movie night. A good friend of mine, Peter, got me into making my own pizzas with a pizza oven, and it travels with us. So when I say we literally, it's not like we're
need for nothing.
Leaving all of the things at home. No, we literally are even taking our pizza oven with us. So one thing I would just point out here is having an extra stool. So there might be places that aren't exactly level that you have to level the coach on, which make the stairs a little bit high. So this is really nice. So we don't have to jump out of our coach or down from our coach. But again, like I said, plenty of storage. I mean, I literally have power tools, cleaning supplies, a ladder, and you get really good at using all your space. So even between the little ladder rungs up here, there's like things crammed down in there. So it all works out really, really well. But that will save your back. It's amazing.
Yes, it does.
Very helpful. All right, the next bay. So this is kind of our outdoor bay. So we have 2 hammocks with the structure, so it doesn't even require trees. A lot of campgrounds now, actually, I know this is weird.
Yeah.
But they won't let you, well, which I get it. They're trying to protect their trees and make it nice for everybody. So that's great. So we have the structures as well as the hammock, seats, fishing poles, helmets, weight bench.
Yeah, here's our weight bench.
Yeah, so it is literally all in there, and there's still plenty of room to spare. All right, so that's our outdoor bay. Then we have the power. So this is our house battery bank here and all the different electronics that go with that. These systems are incredible. I'll just say that. We have owned this coach now for going on 2 years. Every trip, I learned something new about this coach that I didn't know that it did. It is incredible what Forest River has done. Just blows my mind. So anyway, we have a 6 battery bank. And again, this is our house batteries. We talked to a big national RV place and said, hey, we're looking at lithium. What do you think about that? And they're like, well, if you're planning on being in colder places, we would actually recommend you stay with what you have. So I think we are going to do that. I know there's, differing opinions. It's almost like PCs and Mac when it comes to lead acid versus lithium.
Right.
But this has worked really well for us. So we're just going to stick with it. These do require a little bit of maintenance. You have to go out about every 30 days and make sure you fill them up with water, but we have had literally 0 issues, which is great. This is the hydraulics leveling system, as well as for the main big slide out. I believe these 2 are electric, and the big full slide out is a hydraulic.
Yeah.
It's hydraulic, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, that's that bay. And again, you can see, yeah, I mean, it's just so well made. I can't even, we've literally put about 26,000 miles on this coach. And slide outs, the functionality of the coach have been amazing. I know we're not to the review part yet, but it has really served us well. And I will say, we got this inspected before we purchased it. If you're purchasing an RV, would highly recommend that you get it inspected. One of the things the guy told us when we bought ours, he's like, you're basically getting a brand new coach. And we'll tell you that story maybe another day. But one of the things he shared with me that has really stuck with me, and I'll share it with you, is if you take care of it, it will take care of you. And we've tried to do that to the best of our ability, and Smokey has taken care of us. That's her name, Smokey. That's what we call her. She has definitely taken care of us. So very thankful. All right. So here is the driver's side fill up. I failed to mention that. On the back side down there, just beyond the tag, is the driver's side fill up for DEF, which is the side we use most often to fill up our DEF tank. So now we have the driver's side bay, and we've really tried to optimize this bay for when we're fueling up if there's things we need. So Deborah had this idea, which was awesome, to put some paper towels down here. I don't even remember what all went into this, but I think we got this off Amazon maybe.
Yeah, it's a big command strip.
And then the paper towels are special so they don't go flying off in the wind.
So they're sticky.
Yes, fantastic. So we put cleaning supplies down here. We also have air. So we do have air capabilities, tons of the electronics. There's also a handle right there. This handle, if you pull it, actually puts out the generator bay. I'm not going to do that today, but we do have a 10,000 kilowatt hour Onan generator, which is amazing for dry camping. I mean, we can literally pull into any harvest host, BLM land, and level setup, and we are completely self-sufficient.
Yeah, it's like we're plugged into electricity. That's how.
Yes, it's so still hard for my mind to be standing in people's parking lots, standing in a shower in their parking lot, taking a shower, and it's incredible. So anyway, really cool. And this is, just a really nice bay to have. Makes it super easy to access things as we're in places to be able to clean windows or do things like that. So
if you would pull the generator, where would that open up?
Yep. So the generator is this whole piece right here. She kind of looks like she's smiling. So if you pull that, this whole thing comes out and the generator is in there.
It's very easily accessible.
So, and we've got the nice lights. There's like 3 different settings on the exterior lights. I didn't mention that. So this lights up, as well as we'll show you on the other side. There's the patio awning that lights up, and then yellow light by the door. So big, massive windshield wipers, which are amazing. This also has radar on the front of it, which is an amazing safety feature. You can actually turn it off if you don't like it, but basically what it does, if somebody's in front of you, it measures the number of seconds they are from you, and it knows the speed that it's going and how far they are, and it will start to warn you if you're not going to be able to stop if they were to instantly stop. So it's a super nice feature when you're driving through New York City. I'll be honest, it's annoying. If you're driving through any big city, it can be annoying. But all of those times it's annoying is completely worth it for the one time where I've been driving for 6 hours and I'm just tired and it alerts me to something. So I keep it on. I think it's called Road Watch is the name of the system. But man, it's a great system. Yeah. So yeah, lights are great. Again, we try to never drive it at night. We have had to use them and they are very bright and get the job done. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about on the outside, are these really cool looking praying mantis side mirrors. They're very rare. You don't see many coaches with them. I personally really like them. So it's got, obviously, you've got your down the side mirror, and then you have your typical side mirror. And these have a special little, you can see a little black circle right here. And that's actually a camera down the side. So when I'm driving and I hit that I'm the blinker to the right or to the left, it actually will show it on the screen inside a shot down the side of the coach. So not only can I see in the mirrors themselves, I also have that view, which is really nice. There's different situations. It could be raining, it could be foggy, and just to have another set of eyes like that can be super, super helpful. So there's that. Also, I didn't talk about the steps, pretty self-explanatory. We're obviously in camp mode, so there's a button inside where you can just leave them down, but ultimately it's all automated. You open the door, stairs come down, you shut it, they go up. Really nice feature. If we start the coach and we're still in camp mode, it will automatically put them up, because this coach is, for us, if you're new to the channel, this is our very first anything like this, camping, RV, adventure mobile. And this thing has really made it so people like us who are newbies, it's almost foolproof. So that's just one example. That's been super helpful. All right, so we hope you've enjoyed the exterior. Obviously, we had a lot to cover. So stay tuned. Next week, we're actually gonna go inside and give you a complete tour of the inside of the coach. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining us. If you would like to see additional content, such as our top travel resources and other free tools, be sure to join our free online community at ronanddeborah.com. Before we wrap things up, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Northwest Iowa Community College. NCC has been such a great fit for our homeschool family. They offer flexible learning options online, on campus, or a mix of both, so it's easy to make education work around your adventure. Our daughter Olivia is actually dual enrolled at NCC right now. She's earning both high school and college credits at the same time. It's been such a fantastic opportunity for her to get ahead while still homeschooling. If you're a homeschool family looking for a way to take that next step, NCC is a great option. Small class sizes, supportive instructors, and affordable tuition make it an easy choice. So, if you're ready to start your success story, check out nccbound.com/homeschool. A big thanks to NCC for making videos like this possible. Want to join our next adventure? Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. See you in the next video.